Hey everybody, welcome back to my subscribers, my narcissistic abuse family. For new viewers, welcome. Please become a subscriber, that would be great. My topic today is a good one. It is, are you ready? It's so frustrating. I'm frustrated already just talking about it. So, it is what happens when you're in a disagreement with a narcissist, when you confront them. I don't know, basically kind of like if you back a narc into a corner, how they're going to react. This is how the narcissist reacts to blame. It's beyond comprehension, but this is what we're dealing with. So I've said this before. Groundwork is that narcissists are emotionally very immature. They present like grown adults, which is what messes with our heads so much, I believe, is that we think we're dealing with an adult, a mature person, but we're not. They have the mentality, emotional capacity of a child. And when, like, to have a healthy relationship, it takes two people that are both contributing, both accepting accountability for their shortcomings or faults or whatever, and, adapting to make changes to rectify the situation, however, that needs to come about. But when you're dealing with a narcissist, they cannot do this. They are incapable of taking responsibility, accepting blame, or taking any accountability whatsoever. So, if the narcissist in your life is your parent, or your spouse, or a partner, or a coworker, or whatever, they have undoubtedly tried these strategies. The ultimate goal on their half is to gaslight you. Gaslighting is like crazy making. It's making you feel like it makes you question yourself. Gaslighting is like when they try to make you question yourself. They try to, just smoke screen the heck out of you, where you're like, wait a minute, like when you can have all the evidence in the world, like hard facts, and they'll be like, no. And you're like, wait a minute, like, because you think you're dealing with a mature adult, but we're not. So, two strategies right off the bat that narcissists will employ to get themselves out of blame or accountability or responsibility. They'll use toxic amnesia. They also, this is a fancy word for lying. They'll do historic revisionism, which is where they rewrite history. They'll acknowledge that an event happened, but their recollection is entirely different than yours. So you can confront them with a specific instance, and they'll be like, no, that's not what happened. And then you're like, wait a minute. That's what they do. They gaslight you so that you question yourself. Toxic amnesia is similar strategy. It's like you can confront them with cold hard facts, with something that absolutely happened, and they'll be like, I don't remember that, or that didn't happen, or just very matter of factly, just dismissive. They'll dismiss you. They will, fail to acknowledge your feelings or your recollection or any of it. They don't want to deal with it. So they'll come back at you with toxic amnesia. It's it's almost like selective hearing, but we're applying it to circumstances, like memories. Like, that didn't happen. this happened to me a million times with my narcissistic mother. When she tried to come at me, like to force me back into compliance, when she hit me with her narcissistic rage in August, she kept just pressing me and persisting. And I did not want to engage because I'm in a much better position now where I understand that it's senseless to try to, make any headway with the narcissist. They're like incapable of change and accountability. So she was coming at me with like trying to insinuate that I was petty and stuff like that. I was like, holy Christmas, like, I was like, okay. She's like, what have I done? What have I done? And I was like, oh, here we go. And again, like I said, I really didn't want to engage. I'm like so past that. She's so toxic and she will never assume responsibility or take accountability for anything she has done wrong. So I confronted her with just a few instances that I've rattled off the top of my head because the list is so extensive. I was like, oh, here's a couple things you did. And she was like, oh, Michelle. Like, she didn't want to acknowledge that some of these things happened. And secondly, she just changed the story entirely. She flipped the script. Like, one of the like stupidest, most offensive things that she did was on my wedding day, one of the most important days of my life. I had my wicked sister-in-law in my bridal party because it was the right thing to do because I was still under that, dysfunctional family dynamic. I was being steered by that whole, travesty. And I had her as a bridesmaid. And all my bridesmaids decided that they were going to get pink shoes to match their dresses. Didn't matter to me. I was not a bridezilla. I was very easygoing. But this was something that they all, decided amongst themselves. And evil sister-in-law just did everything she could to, like, evade. She's probably a narc too, but she was trying to evade the whole, like, everybody was emailing each other. And she was such a sneaky snake. She was like, oh, I got the perfect pair of shoes and whatever. Come to find out after the fact that my narc mother gave her a pass. Gave her just a, do what you want, wear what you want. Like, screw me. It's, I'm her daughter and it was my wedding day. But, never mind. She was all about, because the evil sister-in-law is married to the golden boy flying monkey brother. So narc mother was just trying to kiss his butt, protect him, whatever. I've done so many videos on like the flying monkey and like my latest realization that the narc mother or narc parent, whoever, will give the flying monkey immunity. Like they can do no wrong as long as they're serving the purpose of the narc. But anyway, so my whole point was that was like historical revisionism. Like she acknowledges that it happened, but she'll try to dismiss my feelings about the whole situation and just say, oh, you're being ridiculous, or she just discounts however I feel. So when you're confronting a narc or blaming them for something, they don't want any part of it. They conduct themselves like they are the superior being, that they're entitled, that, everybody should bow down to them at all times. And they really, all across the boards, they employ this mentality. So historical revisionism, they just change the facts. They change what actually happened for their purposes. Toxic amnesia, they won't even acknowledge that it happened. They'll just, I don't remember that, or it didn't happen, that never happened, or something along those lines. Anything you could think of that a child would do to get out of blame, that's what the narcissist will do. They are incapable of being mature, responsible adults. So, at the end of the day, that's their game. And once you see it, it is so empowering. For the longest time, I was trying so hard with my narcissistic mother to improve our relationship, to work through these issues, like these things that she's done that have hurt me, that she's done wrong. And I never got anywhere. And I would always be like, what the heck? I was so confused. That's what narcissists do. They confuse the heck out of you. Now I know why. Because she won't accept responsibility. She can't be blamed for anything. She'll never say she's sorry. Ever. Like, they have no remorse. My narcissistic ex eons ago was doing, he was just terrible. Terrible. It was such a volatile relationship. I don't even like to call it a relationship because it wasn't. It was very one-sided. Me bearing all the weight of the whole thing. So, but like, he was cheating on me and everything, and I would ask him, like, where are you going or whatever, and he would just blatantly lie to me. So, I don't know, you could say that maybe narcissists are like pathological liars too. But toxic amnesia, historical revisionism, it's like they lie. That's ultimately what they do. They can't be blamed for anything or held responsible. So I hope this helps you guys. If anything, I hope I'm providing you with like validation. Like, go with your gut. If you feel like something's not right or something's askew, probably is. You're not dealing with a mature adult here. You're dealing with a narcissist, and they are childish and can't take responsibility. They won't accept responsibility for anything. So, if you guys like this video, give me a thumbs up. Please hit subscribe. That would be awesome. We are bumped and we're bruised, but more than anything, we are blessed because we're finding each other. We're validating our stories, what happened to each of us, and we're providing each other with much needed compassion. So, I hope I helped you guys out with this video. Hope I gave you some useful information. I'll be back. See you guys soon. Take care.